Alrighty. So, um, did you want to watch this at all or no? Um, so what we're doing right now is I'm gonna be doing a stream covering something that's actually kind of super fucked up. Serial killer museums. Um, it's kind of a little bit of a trigger warning for anybody else watching at the moment. This is subject matter that is not intended for children. If you are underage, please leave. I'm not gonna be getting whammied with shit for your parents not watching you, type shit.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick heads up. I don't usually include graphic or postmortem imagery on my channel. However, for this topic, I think it's important to show some photos and videos from the exhibit so you can fully understand it and form your own opinions. Just be aware that some of the content in this video may be disturbing for some viewers.
Who's the mind behind the mind of a serial killer?
It's an excellent question about this two-story exhibit with 24 rooms that is an immersive experience into some of the most prominent serial killers in history. And the whole exhibit is for adults only due to its clearly mature content. But things like a recreation of gynecology chair and tools David Parker Ray used to restrain his victims, and a full-scale mock-up of Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment give you an idea of what you're in for.
John Wayne Gacy is known as the killer clown. These young boys are reduced to bones in this evil man's crawl space and in this evil man's house.
You can also do a full VR investigation to solve some of the crimes that you can also spend hours living through.
So there is a new attraction in New York sitting on 6th Street in Manhattan, an immersive exhibit called The Mind of a Serial Killer, The Experience. I am well aware that similar exhibits have appeared around the world, but this one has recently sparked quite a bit of attention online, so I wanted to talk about it. I myself went to the Alcatraz East Crime Museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee a few years ago, but I do feel it was overall very educational, even with an entire section going over all the recent advancements in DNA testing, something that we discuss often here on my channel. It also shows photos of missing children from the area in the hopes to generate new leads. There are a few aspects, though, of this new serial killer exhibit in New York that really stood out to me and are the reasons that I wanted to talk about this today. This new exhibit claims to offer insight. It claims to educate. It claims to take you inside the minds of monsters. But for many, there's something it neither promises nor delivers, and that is dignity for the victims of these crimes. Now, I haven't attended this exhibit myself, so I can't speak from firsthand experience about everything it includes. That said, I've spent time watching a range of videos, walkthroughs, and news segments that cover it in detail, which I feel has given me a general sense of what visitors encounter. First off, on the website, it says that the experience includes diving into a serial killer's mind. Become an investigator. Dive into the twisted minds of history's most notorious killers. Uncover their psychological profiles and stand within chillingly accurate recreations of their crimes. From Bundy's Beetle to Dahmer's kitchen, experience the dark reality up close. There's thematic galleries, step into haunting recreations, Holmes' domination and control corridors, Gein's macabre home, La Bestia's greenhouse, and much more. Explore the physical sets and relics of 20+ famous serial killers. Then there's real crimes that inspired films. Hollywood's biggest serial killer stories started with real monsters. You can discover how figures like Ed Gein and Eileen Wuornos inspired the creepiest characters in film. I completely understand that for the most part, humans aren't drawn to serial killers because they admire them or approve of their actions. Most people feel a mix of fear and disgust. Overall, though, most are simply curious. That curiosity comes from a few things. For one, there's a survival component. The human brain is wired to pay attention to threats. Learning how dangerous people think and act can feel, even subconsciously, like gathering information that might help us recognize or avoid harm. There's also the pull of the extreme. Serial killers represent behavior far outside normal human experience, and people tend to be fascinated by anything that breaks the rules of what we believe is possible. It raises uncomfortable questions like, how can someone do this? Why did they target certain people and not others? Are serial killers born that way or shaped by their environment over time? Can people be born evil? A lot of people are intrigued by trying to understand the why. It's an attempt to make sense of something that feels genuinely senseless. There's also a social and cultural element. Media coverage can amplify certain cases, sometimes turning perpetrators into infamous figures. at least in my opinion, is how and why exhibits like this one are created. That attention, though, can blur the line between
Alright, guys, my deepest apologies. Alright, guys, my deepest apologies. Yeah, because I just realized that that whole time my audio was not coming through, so I deeply apologize about that. And we've been sitting here having a full discussion, so that was great to realize that, then, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and dive back in. The general overview was that people cannot be born evil, but be born with a predisposition to become quote unquote evil, because evil and good are both a construct of society based off of how they are perceived and what way they decide to do things, as to whether or not their empathy or quote unquote psychopathic tendencies or sociopathic tendencies will lead them to a further decline or make poorer judgments based off of their circumstances and what it is that they've been led to, the conclusions that they've come to from the options they were given.
Now, I have to kind of disagree with something you said.
Yeah.
Which is that evil is a societal construct. I don't quite believe that, because some things are just natively evil regardless of what society deems evil or not. Like, murdering your own species is evil, no matter what society or anything you're in. Like, that's pretty much universally evil, no matter how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it.
I think that some things are just natively evil. Like, some actions are evil no matter what anyone else thinks.
Right.
It's just...
And that is why I also included the finer point that based off of the situations that they are put in or encounter. Because yes, taking the life of your own species is natively evil. But what were the situations that led up to it? Was this in a case of defense? Was this in a case of attack? Was it creating an availability? Because things like just to do it, that's natively evil.
You see, there's a difference between murder and killing. Like, murder means to kill something without reason or without justification. Is like, murder is just, I killed them to kill them.
Okay.
Like, in cases of defense and all that good stuff, like, a lion isn't evil for having a territory war with another lion and killing that lion. That's not an act of evil.
Right.
That's nature. Like, if someone defends themselves, that's not evil. But to kill your own species for the
sport,
thrill of killing them, for the sport of killing them, just because you felt like killing them, because you were angry at them, so you decided to kill them. Like, those kind of reasons are what I consider murder.
Fair enough.
To kill your own species for sport is evil. Like, no matter what you are. Like, if there's an animal somewhere who just goes out and just murders its own species just for the fucking hell of it, that specific animal is an evil animal of that species.
Right. So now forgive this, but to play devil's advocate here, in situations like gang wars, right? They are killing for territory. Is that not the same?
I mean, yeah, that's a territorial thing. That's not just killing them because you were angry at them, because you felt like killing them, because like shit like that, like just like wars, like
Yeah, right.
wars
War is
are
just an overinflated version of the same thing.
yeah, it's killing for a reason. Whether that's a good reason or not, debatable, but it's for a reason. Therefore, it's not technically murder.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. But in the case of serial killers are not killing for any justifiable reason. Most of them just kill because they want to kill.
Right.
As they feel a thrill from killing, a bloodlust, if you will.
Okay. Now,
I consider that evil.
Now, would you consider it? So, let's say an individual is. Now, I'm gonna keep rolling back to this this military standpoint, because we grew up with a military father, so we know that there is a difference. But my job here is to kind of lightly play devil's advocate. Now, there's no point in which murder is okay. I'm trying to outline and emphasize where the line is in the average person on what is murder and what is killing. So, in that light, is it acceptable for a soldier who happens to enjoy killing for the sport of it? Is it okay for them to remain in the military?
Yeah. I don't see any problem with that. As long as they're not, going outside of their duty to, commit war crimes. Like, yeah, sure.
Fair enough.
Sorry for the short answer, but yeah, like.
No, I mean that's kind of what I expected, was a yes or a no kind of thing, because that's a very cut and dry question.
Yeah, I would much rather have the psychopathic killers be obedient psychopathic killers than just be out on the streets murdering women on the side of the road for no reason.
Right.
If you're going to be a killer, at least,
be employed.
Be productive about it. Be productive about it.
I'm sorry. Productive serial killing is a wild concept.
I mean, Dexter Morgan.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. That's valid. That's valid.
I'm kind of okay with the Dexter Morgan kind of serial killer. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You can serial kill criminals all you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, they're going around and they're actively killing innocent people. And then you've got this one who is true chaotic evil, but with a good focus. He's doing the best he can to clean the streets of these straight evil people.
And it's like, everyone's all, I don't condone vigilante justice. I fucking do. I totally fucking do. Like,
yeah.
Vigilante justice is something that is actually quite needed. Like, back in the day, people used to go out and fucking kill people for being pieces of shit. I think we should bring that back, honestly.
Right. Now, I mean, I do understand that, yes, I went to college for criminal justice, so I do fully believe in the system. But at a certain point, the system breaks down and cannot help anymore. At that point, that's when vigilante justice needs to be employed. Because there are some criminals out there who are smarter than the system. And try as we might, we cannot account for all of them. There are too many people on the planet anymore for the system we have.
Or you just have places like New York and California who consistently just let people go, even though they are the most heinous of criminals. As like people who have rap sheets longer than the Bible, and fucking they're currently in court for stabbing 5 people on a bus, and California's like, yeah, just like give us $5 grand and get out.
Right, I mean, and in all truth, it's not that they're just letting them go. It's they're letting them go with and making the fact that they let them go public so that somebody will step up and take care of that motherfucker. Whether it be for the sake of actually, like, actively killing that person or just beating the ever-loving dog shit out of them. That's a totally different discussion.
That's up to the individual taking it up into their own hands.
Well, word. Like
there's plenty of situations, where I think vigilante justice is perfectly reasonable.
right.
Like, if we were going to, like, hypothetically speaking, fucking thought experiment shit, if we were going to implement a vigilante justice system into the justice system, there would be, like, a cutoff where, like, you would decide what level of piece of shittery do you need to be in order for vigilante justice to be warranted. You know?
Yeah. Like, for argument's sake, somebody, I know this is gonna make me sound bad, and don't take this out of context, but somebody who goes around stabbing old people just to rob them, bro, you're towing the line there. That's, yeah, they're fucking about to die, but you're doing it to rob them, so probably should get a very heavy ass whipping by the people for that one. You're going, now scenario number 2, somebody who actively goes around stabbing specifically pregnant women for no fucking reason other than just to stab them. Kill that motherfucker quickly.
And isn't getting fucking the book thrown at them already in prison. Like, when people get out on shit that they definitely did, the justice system takes them in and says, yep, you did this, but we're gonna let you out anyway. That's when vigilante justice should be implemented. The second they step out of that fucking, discharge from the fucking prison, they get their ass handed to them every single step they take until they're dead. Like, that just should just be how it is. You're no longer a part of public society.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Like, someone who served their time? No. I'm talking like they didn't serve any time.
Right, or served so little that they might as well not have. Like, they definitely have not learned anything from this experience.
Yeah, like serial rapists who are in fucking prison for, 6 months and then get out. Like, and then they just do it again and get another 6 months. And they're just in and out of prison doing the same shit over and over again. They should just, be buried in a shallow grave. Like, there's no reason for them to exist.
Valid. Now, I mean, that it also must be said that at no point is it okay to just instinctively take vigilante justice. No. It should, being the believer in the justice system that I am, the justice system should be allowed to take its course, do what is done, and if that person gets out and does it again, if the system tries to assign the same punishment again, no. That's at the point at which whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, there's a limit to how much you can get away with.
Facts.
Like, in this situation, we're talking about vigilante justice that is structured within the justice system.
Right. It's not just Joe Blow down the road going down and taking care of it. It's specific individuals who are cleared to take this course of action.
Well, like, if we were to implement vigilante justice into the justice system, it would be like a community thing where the community gets together and they go, all right, so here's the list of pieces of shit we have, and discuss it, and then say, all right, everyone agree? Yeah, say aye, all right, yeah, let's go.
Okay, so it's more of a committee of individuals within the community that is affected by this individual's existence agree upon a punishment for this individual.
Yeah, there's a 9/10 vote, and if it goes through, dude gets buried in a shallow grave. That's just how it goes.
All right, you know what? I can kind of get behind that, definitely. All right, let's go ahead and jump back in here a little bit.
It's kind of a fucked up thing to say, but like,
I mean, it is a valid point being made there, though.
Yeah.
Understanding and unintentional glorification, which is where ethical concerns start to come in. The truth is, behind every display, every recreated crime scene, every artifact, there are victims. There are real people, not characters, not just case studies, not entertainment, people. A daughter who never came home after heading out to a grocery store. A son whose life ended in terror after setting up an interview with a local contractor. And we can't forget the families that are still searching for closure after decades. When the focus shifts to the killer, their mind, their methods, their mythology, the victims fade into the background. Chances are you know the faces of most well-known serial killers, but if a picture of a victim was presented, would you know their name or even which serial killer took their life? I'm not suggesting you need to study or memorize these details, especially if you're simply interested in learning about these cases, but it does highlight an important imbalance, and hopefully it helps put the issue into perspective. Honestly, imagine walking into a room where your loved one's final moments are recreated for complete strangers. Strangers who bought tickets, signed a waiver, and enter a decompression room at the end of the exhibit. For many people who attend exhibits like this, the motivation is simple curiosity, and that's a natural human instinct. But for the loved ones of the victims, it can feel very different. It can reopen wounds and bring that trauma rushing back all over again. Even if they don't attend it themselves, just knowing something like this is going on can be absolutely devastating. I say this because I've spoken with family members of people whose lives have been taken by serial killers, and I've heard firsthand how deeply these situations continue to affect them. From what I could see online, and this is just my opinion, Serial Killer, the original exhibition, seems to be far more gruesome than the one that's currently going on in New York. The creators of exhibits like this and supporters of them say that these exhibits are educational. They say that they explore psychology. They say that they help us understand evil. And maybe on some level, that's true. But education without empathy becomes exploitation. And in my opinion, many exhibits are exploitative. I have
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it.
I have seen multiple people on TikTok and Instagram posting reels from this exhibit saying it's, quote, the perfect exhibit for the horror girlies. Except this isn't an exhibit dedicated to cult classic horror flicks. These are real, gruesome, life-altering crimes. Based on what I understand, when photographs of certain victims aren't available, the exhibit uses AI-generated images in their place. This choice alone can feel controversial as it raises questions.
Okay, so now I want to bring up the point that you were saying the other day about when we were discussing the whole AI generation of art and music and all of that, right? This is one point in which I unequivocally agree with your statements that the creation of AI generated imagery is definitely 100% of the time an issue. The fact that people want to see these individuals, whom of which photographs have not been taken or cannot be found, is a good thing. Like, they're trying to, I guess, loosely, if not in their own way, see, understand, and acknowledge the victim on top of the actual individual exploiting this situation with or that's the wrong word, on top of understanding the serial killer themselves. You know, they're trying, if it only in their own way, they are trying to acknowledge the existence of of another individual who has had their life taken by this person. So good, but the utility of an AI generated image as a stand-in, like, I firsthand have seen some of these images that they're talking about of the individuals who had their likeness AI generated as a stand-in for their picture at this thing, at this museum.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, it looks nothing like the actual real person. And so it's just further obscuring who they are. And that's not okay. Like, these people are having a likeness of them that is not true to them being put up on display as them. That would literally 100% be like me showing somebody your gameplay and saying that was me that took those shots.
Yeah.
That's not okay. That's fucking painting something that looks approximate to Starry Night and saying that you did it even though it was Picasso.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, facts. Or no, it wasn't Picasso, was it?
Huh?
Starry Night wasn't Picasso. Was it?
It was fucking...
Van Gogh.
Yeah, Van Gogh. Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Sorry. Let's go ahead and get back into the video a little bit. That was just that was a point that was really important to me to iterate, especially after our conversation the other day as far as the AI generation. It can be good utilized in the right points in time, but when it's just used willy-nilly like they're talking about here, it's not okay. That's a bastardization of the existence of the individual that they're trying to represent.
But I just gotta get this off my chest.
Go ahead.
Van Gogh.
Fucking Christ.
Okay. Alright, you can,
About how accurately and respectfully these individuals are being represented.
Companies are now using AI slop to recreate the famous murder scenes of famous serial killers and turn them into selfie backdrops for online influencers to take photos in front of. And when I say that attendees of this Mind of a Serial Killer experience can take photos in these crime scenes, I'm just going to show you. They can literally climb right into Richard Chase's bloody bathtub to take a selfie. Or if a bloody bathtub isn't your thing, they can sit down in the examination chair used by David Parker Ray in his toy box dungeon. They recreated one of the crime scenes of BTK for people to take pictures in, including 2 mannequins bound and dressed to look like a couple of BTK's victims. They turned BTK's victims into photo props. I just want you to look at a photo of Josephine Otero as I say that one more time. They turned BTK's victims into photo props. And on top of all of that, by the way, they're not even making sure that everything that they have in this exhibition is correct or even real. Because they used AI slop so much for this exhibition that not only are all of the descriptions in all of the rooms very clearly generated by AI, they also used AI to generate fake victim photos to display for the victims that they didn't have photos of, presumably. They had AI make up fake photos and then put those photos on the wall and claimed that they were the actual real-life victims of these serial killers. Look, I know that true crime has boiled a lot of people's brains, and I'm not condemning anyone for consuming true crime content. I have consumed a hell of a lot of true crime content over my lifetime. I am fascinated by the psychology behind those sorts of crimes. But nothing about this experience has anything to do with actually educating people about the psychology around serial killers, even though that's what they claim they're doing. You don't learn anything from taking a picture with fake victims of BTK. You don't learn anything from climbing in to Richard Chase's bloody bathtub or climbing into Ted Bundy's Volkswagen Beetle. All that is sensationalism at the expense of the victims and their families, and it is reprehensible.
Because honestly, if we're going to be as real and raw as humanly possible, where is the room showing the empty seat at the dinner table, the birthdays and Christmases that never stopped being celebrated, the bedrooms that never changed because the victim's parents couldn't bear to change it, the years spent waiting for answers that never came? Grief does not end when a case is solved. It doesn't end when a killer is caught, and it certainly doesn't end when a museum opens. These exhibits come, bring in a crowd, make their money, move on to the next city, but there are still families out there wishing their child or parent or cousin or uncle or aunt wasn't just a name added to a list of victims. Many of these serial killers wanted to be known, discussed, and remembered, even if it meant being infamous. In that sense, they didn't want to be forgotten, and that's where things become complicated. When an entire museum is dedicated to them, there's a risk that this desire for attention is unintentionally fulfilled, while the victims themselves can end up feeling secondary or like an afterthought. From everything I saw online, opinions are pretty split. I've seen plenty of people appalled that anything like this exists, while others attended and found it interesting. Some people said that the museum did a decent job of focusing on the victims and keeping them at the center of the story. At the same time, though, I'm not sure how much I fully agree with that, given that there are displays showing a woman who was cut open and bludgeoned to death, a blood-filled bathtub that you can take pictures in, and a head in a refrigerator.
What do you say to maybe critics out there who say, hey, should you guys have a museum dedicated to serial killers? Is this a memorialization of them? What do you say?
Absolutely not. This is really to raise awareness because you never know. It could be your neighbor. You would never know what's really going on inside their head, the kind of sinister things that they're capable of.
I realize that I am going to hear from people in the comments saying that I'm being overly sensitive or that I've misinterpreted the purpose of the exhibit. Others may insist that it's grounded in educational and scientific intent, and that the uncomfortable feeling it creates is intentional, perhaps even essential to encouraging a deeper engagement with the subject matter.
No.
So
Go ahead.
So I've said this before, but there's a difference between raising awareness and sensationalizing stuff.
Right.
Like murderers, serial killers, and people like that, their names should never be known. The manner in which they did their crimes should never be known, like, to the public. Like, should never be broadcast to people. Like, what they did, you know, they serial kill, murdered multiple people, should be known. People should know that serial killers exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, raise awareness that there are people who serial kill people. Yes. But their names should be erased from all records. Like, just fucking bye-bye name, you don't exist anymore. The way in which they killed people should be fucking need-to-know basis only. And awareness should be, hey, these people exist. Because broadcasting their names publicly raises awareness of their names. It sensationalizes them. It glorifies them. The moment they committed that crime, their name should be gone, erased. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
They are now case file 675, and that's it.
Yeah, they're no longer a person at that point. And I agree with that. 100%.
Just like with fucking, you know, mass shooters and bombers and all of those people who do those things. Because a lot of them do those things so that they can have their name be known. They do those things so that they can go out with a bang. Or to raise awareness for some bullshit they believe in. Like people who go do fucking school shootings because fucking to raise trans awareness. That's some stupid shit.
Yeah, that's literally insane. Like, all you killing those people is going to do is stop the people who might help you from helping you. You are actively hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Are those your dogs or mine?
Mine.
Okay. Yeah, like, cause, like, as far as, like, with the active shooter scenario, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about people who are specifically trying to do this because they're tired of a particular status quo, or something of that scenario. And just like you're pointing out, it's extremely self-defeating. Because you're not raising awareness, you're making people more afraid. And anybody who was aware and would help, you have now unalived.
Yeah. And it's just like, to get back into the main, like, point I was making is our justice system should do a good job of erasing these people.
Right, instead of furthering embellishing on them.
Yeah, like, fucking televised trials should only be for certain things. You don't televise the trial of serial killers, mass shooters, people like that. There's a certain level of crime, there's a certain area of crime where it should be closed doors, these people's names are erased, a get a designation instead. They're quietly sentenced to death and quietly executed.
Yeah. Yes, I do agree with that.
Because that eliminates the possibility of copycats, of sensationalism, of celebritizing these people. Like, Bundy isn't a celebrity, he's a fucking monster.
Right.
He should have been erased, and his name should never have been known.
Right, like, and that comment about, oh, it's the dream for all the goth girlies, that's fucking disgusting, my guy.
Yeah, like, women who fantasize about serial killers, there's something deeply, deeply disturbing about that.
Right, like, I mean, I'm hesitant to say, but, like, in reality, it's okay to, like, pursue that type of thinking with fake serial killers. Like fucking Jason Voorhees. Alright, cool. Be infatuated with Jason Voorhees. He's an entirely fictional character. Don't do it with Ted Bundy. Don't do it with Ed Gein. That's fucked up. You are, like you said, there is something deeply, deeply disturbed in that individual for them to think that that's attractive.
Like, if, say I had like a girlfriend or whatever who was into watching true crime stuff, that's cool, that's fine. But if you, like, find serial killers and shit attractive, that's a huge red flag. That's a massive red flag, like, across the board.
Mm-hmm. No matter what facet you look at it from.
Yeah,
now,
massive red flag.
Now, I suppose it's not as much of an issue to say, well, this person's psychology is interesting, I would like to study them. It's a whole ass other conversation to go, John Wayne Gacy's hot.
I would totally have sex with John Wayne Gacy. That's fucking weird.
Okay, like,
that's fucked up.
You're fucked up, and he is going to eat you after he fucks your corpse.
Yeah.
He's going to kill you, fuck your corpse, and then eat you. Like, that's what's gonna happen. So why would you find that attractive? Like, you're just trying to be an edgy teen. Or, you're broken. And you're not the cute kind of broken. You're not the kind of broken that I find attractive. Okay, let's jump back in. We're almost done here.
I understand those arguments, and I'm not attacking people who attend this exhibit, and I'm not dismissing the idea that there can be value in confronting difficult or unsettling realities. However, even taking that into account, I don't understand the way certain elements in this exhibit and similar ones like it are presented. At the end of the day, I believe advocacy, education, and remembrance should come before entertainment or anything that risks feeling exploitative. Intent matters, but so does impact, and it's important to keep questioning where that line is and whether it's being respected. I am curious what you all think, though. Would you be interested in visiting this exhibit yourself? Do you feel the more graphic elements are necessary to fully understand the severity of the crimes being represented? Or do you find that aspects like taking photo ops in the recreated living spaces of a serial killer and crime scene displays cross a line and feel distasteful. No matter what your opinions are, just keep the comments respectful and let me know what you think down below. There have definitely been a lot of mixed reactions online. Can you imagine if your family was one of the victims? How disrespectful is this? I could understand for law enforcement, criminal psychology, or crime scene training purposes, etc., but the general public to be able to see it, that's just disrespectful. This is my Disneyland. I'd go if I was in America, probably more than once if I'm honest. I find this incredibly offensive for the victims' families. This will be a huge success. People are fascinated by this. I wonder if they recreated the smells. That would be a huge addition, and it's probably one of the things that stays with me from all I've seen. Huge quantities of blood has one of the worst smells I've ever come across, except for dead bodies. You don't have to see the gory effects to understand the psychology of a serial killer. It's about getting into the mind of someone who is a serial killer, the ones who are narcissistic sociopaths, the ones who have been abused in childhood relentlessly, etc. I don't need to see blood to understand the mind of a serial killer. Scrolling through the angry reactions, and it's just a bunch of Karens. Which, call me a Karen if you want to, but it's because I be Karen. Get it? I hate this. As someone who loves serial killer stories and documentaries, not TV shows glamorizing the killer, this feels so disrespectful. Imagine someone killing your kid and getting fame for it. So much fame at that they make an exhibit showing the death of your child. This genuinely is sick. In my view, an exhibit like this is likely to draw a lot of different people. Some visitors may be genuinely interested in understanding the psychology behind individuals who can become so detached from empathy that they commit repeated, calculated acts of violence. For them, it may be about trying to make sense of how and why such behavior occurs. At the same time, I think it's also possible that it could attract people who romanticize or glorify perpetrators in unhealthy ways. As many of us already know, there are entire communities that become fixated on notorious criminals, sometimes even idolizing them. In some cases, that fixation can go as far as collecting memorabilia or expressing admiration in ways like covering their walls in photos of serial killers. I just feel like there's a more tasteful way of doing exhibits like this, and that's just my opinion, and we all have one. I just want to reiterate that if you are interested in going to this exhibit, if you did go to the exhibit, I am not attacking you. I'm not calling you a bad person. I am just sharing some of my personal thoughts, and I do believe that we can create exhibits like this that are a little bit more respectful. If you do want to help unsolved cases in any way, whether that be identify a Jane or John Doe, or track down a killer through genetic genealogy, or just support victims and their families, I will have some links down below in the description for you all to check out. I am also running a flash sale this weekend from the 24th to the 26th on my merch. For the most part, it's all advocacy-based merch, and the goal is to raise additional funds for some of the previous cases I've covered on my channel that currently have active fundraisers. I hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day. Wherever you are, stay safe like always, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.
Okay, so first of all, whoever typed in, "Oh, I've seen all the reactions and the people who are talking is just a bunch of Karens," fuck you. Fuck you and your entire genetic code, my guy. You are one of the fucking problems. Same for the bitch that said, fuck, what was that shit?
I wonder if they recreated the smell.
Yo, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck you. Like, you are fucking one of the individuals who is fucked up.
Broken.
Like, and the whole point of, imagine this being somebody calling themselves a museum and showing a recreation of the death of your child. You know what? Yeah, that's how fucked up some of these people are.
That they want that.
They are actively choosing to idolize these people.
Yep.
And it's fucking crazy work, my dude. Now the lady whose channel that was, that is Gabulosis over on YouTube. She is somebody who inadvertently had a lot of impact on my life. And you know, like I've covered a few times, I used to be a very heavy heroin addict. So watching her videos actually is part of what got me clean. So I hope that in some ways, maybe somebody out there can be that for you guys. You know, maybe they'll have an impact on you that you don't know that they're gonna have, that they don't know that they're gonna have. So like, go over there, give her a follow if you've never heard of her. She has lots of content, and it's very much like a 48 hours type of feel to it. She's very good at her research, and she's very thorough on top of it all. I really enjoy watching some of her content, and I think you guys will too. So, like I said, go down there, give her a follow, check her out. Once again, her name is Gabulosis. And it's... I'm happy for everybody who did tune in. And this here on the phone, this is Brain Dead.
Hello.
Go ahead, give him a shout, give him a fucking follow too. I don't know, do you have any other points that you want to bring up?
Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, basically. Don't be a piece of shit, don't grow up to be a serial killer. It's a bad idea. Murder's bad, okay? Alright, you know, depending upon the kind of traction this video gets, I may do more in the future, I don't know. I'm still very much trying to find my niche, find where my flow is. So please give me some love. Let me know what's going on, what you guys want to see, and we will do our best to be some form of entertaining with it. I think that's pretty much all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one.